friend Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review. This is a band that I've been listening to a lot of the bootleg stuff and live recordings that's been coming out a lot on Cleopatra Records, and this one I was not expecting to come out, but it's not a bootleg, although it does have a concert added on here. It is the new remastered deluxe edition of Lights Out by UFO. And when it comes to remasters, I know I've said it a few different times, I sometimes don't get too excited for the remaster, and I probably honestly would not have bought this if it wasn't for the fact that it had the extra concert on here, extra bonus CD. Although I'll just get it out of the way right from the start, the remaster on this one is really good. A lot of times, it'll change the master itself, and it'll sometimes, to my ears, just doesn't sound as good as what the original was. A lot of times, you may brighten up some things and highlight certain things, and you lose the bottom end, or you may boost the bottom end and you lose some of the other stuff. Sometimes the remastering is not done well. In fact, a lot of the time the remastering is not done well. And on this one, I do have to say that they did it very well. It has got a little bit more clear, it's got a little bit more oomph to it, and it does have the bottom end there like it should. So right out of the way, I actually was very impressed with the remastering on this one. It sounds really great with headphones on. I didn't crank it up in the stereo yet, but I'm sure that it's going to hold up, because it sounded really good with the headphones on. As far as the live stuff goes, because that's actually what I listen to first, that's kind of what I do when I get these things, it kicked in just right off the bat with Lights Out, and this is recorded live at the Roundhouse in London in April 77th. I think it was the first show that they did, from what I understand from reading this, that it was the first show they did, and holy moly, they came out of the gates on fire. It's amazing. Sometimes the bands are on break and they take some time off and they record, the first few shows a little bit clunky and clanky and whatever. This one's tight. And Michael Schenker is just killing it on this one. He's just on fire on this album, on the album itself, but probably one of their most well-known albums actually. But the live stuff on here is no slouch at all to the the studio recordings. In fact, the song "Love to Love," it takes on a whole new life in this concert. I actually like the live version better than I like the studio version of it. The guitar, it's really epic sounding on this. Quite honestly, it's hard to believe that something this heavy was from these guys back in '77. It's a really good version of that song. It takes what's kind of, I wouldn't say mellow, but it's not super hard rocking on the album, but live it's super hard rocking. And then of course they got all the classics on here, Lights Out and Doctor's on here, Two Out the Handle, which was a single off of this. In fact, there's a bonus single on the other disc here. And then Shoot and Rock Bottom are all on here. Now the surprise on this was it ends with Come On Everybody, which I've heard that before, but the version they did on here is actually really cool and heavier, and they do a little bit of a crowd sing-along thing in the middle of it. And the only thing that went on a little bit long, but in fact the crowd started to peter out in the middle of that. Yeah, so I had to kind of get them going a little bit more to kind of finish the song out. But other than that, it was a killer set. Even that tiny little critique, even with that in there, it was a killer set. That was actually really fun to listen to. It's been better than these other bootlegs I've been checking out. The releases that Cleopatra's been doing, the stuff that's already been released and they're doing again, trying to pretend it's a new release, but that's a whole nother story anyway. But and the extra stuff, I did want to mention the extra stuff on the bonus disc here. They have Alone Again, which is kind of an acoustic rough studio version of that one, which it was cool as a bonus thing. I guess it was kind of cool. It's nice hearing that, and Phil sings actually really good on it. It's just acoustic and the singing on it. The thing on here that I really didn't understand, of course I already mentioned the Two Out the Handle at it, which is just nice to have. It didn't really add anything that would have made me buy the album, but the last little thing that they added on here was the version of the song Try Me from the band Love, which I did not enjoy that at all. So just gonna to say it. That's the only thing I didn't like on here at all was that. So if you're buying it for just those 2 bonus songs, like I don't actually know if this Live at the Roundhouse has been released or not before. I probably should have checked that before I did this, but I did not. So if somebody knows, please feel free to comment down below if this one has actually been released or not before, because I don't remember ever hearing it before. So if it is, I just missed it. If not, then cool. This is definitely worth buying. If you're buying it just for those extra bonus songs, I personally would skip it. If I had known what they sounded like ahead of time and I was buying it just for that, I probably wouldn't have. But the rest of it's killer. Remaster's great. The live concert's awesome. Definitely worth hearing Schenker play. I mean, he's one of my favorite guitarists like ever. So that's about it for this one. Yeah, and as I always say, like, share, and subscribe to keep the music alive. And this band just seems to be like rolling them out left and right here, and this is actually a super cool one. This is probably my favorite thing they've done out of the past couple years that they've released or re-released in this case. But anyway, that's one good way to end what I've been listening to this weekend. So talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.